Welcome back to Hoops and Harmony. My name is Silvia.
And I'm Ebony.
And we are here with...
Jerry Ramirez.
Christopher from the east side.
Georgia C's up one on Instagram. Baby.
Yeah. And today we had a beautiful conversation about self-love, self-care, where these young gentlemen come from and how they inspire us and how they want to continue to inspire the community. Anything else, Ebony, that I miss? Anything that I miss?
No, I mean, that's pretty much, I think you pretty much simplified it. We talked a lot about those topics, and I think they were really like, I hope fruitful.
Right? Bottom of the totem pole. We talked about butterflies.
We talked about butterflies,
recipes.
literally.
Yeah, recipes.
Those are
Those are pretty fire.
Those are. We were gonna say.
Check me out. I got you. Nah, I don't.
Shoe cam.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned. We have a beautiful affirmation about our community because this is what we are. We are a community, and so yeah, thank y'all for being here. Enjoy it.
Enjoy.
Bye. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back to Hoops and Harmony. I am Silvia.
And I am Ebony.
And we have three beautiful guests here today. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Jerry.
I'm Jerry Ramirez, a.k.a. Knuckles. I'm from the Northeast LA community known as Tunerville.
Oh, you're from Northeast?
Yeah.
Ah, wait. Question?
Oh!
Question? I have a fucking question.
Like, do you know this guy?
Hold on.
No.
I have a fucking discussion with my coworker, and she
Okay.
says, because we work a lot of kids from the Northeast,
Okay.
and there's a new center there, and they call it
East Lake?
Nila.
Okay.
And I said, it's not Nila, it's
Nella.
Nella.
Yeah.
And she said, no, it's Nila. And she keeps calling it Nila. And I'm like, stop
Well-
calling it Nila because it's Nella.
What
right?
the hell? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show
Jerry,
her
go
that
talk
because...
to that lady, please.
Please talk to her. Talk to everyone in that
DM her,
building.
please.
Is she
Say it one
Gabacha
time
or-
for the one time on the
No,
mic.
she's Latina. She's Latina, but she says that maybe it's like an old school way of saying it. And I'm like, I've been there for a long
I've never
time.
ever heard that.
Nila,
ever.
right?
That's the gentrification.
Call her up right
Big
now.
facts. Big
Nila.
facts. I'll call her. I'll be like, hey, how do we say it? Because
Call
we
her
have
on air. Fuck
we
that.
have discussions all the time. And she's like,
I mean,
I'm
I've
sorry.
heard Nelos, but Nila?
Never.
Not like
Nila like the
her-
cookie.
Nila
That's the
like
cookie, isn't it? Nila? No?
Anyways, so it's Nella.
Nela.
Okay, here we go. Maria.
Yes.
Nella. Thank you so much.
And my
There you go,
bottom was
Maria.
Very well, girl.
since the 40s, and that's confirmed.
Big facts. Okay.
Nella.
That's right. Spencer
All right,
Maria.
thank you,
How do I
Jerry.
follow up with that? Goddamn.
Thank you, Jerry.
We got a little political on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Spencer.
my name's Chris. From East LA, born and raised. My family's been there since the early 30s. Let me know what time it is.
Mm.
Ask him a question.
Yeah.
My name is Jorge, and I'm trying to change the world for a better place.
For a better place. I love it.
So,
You did
That's
good.
I'm just saying. No. No.
Yeah. So we met Chris specifically randomly. We met him. We were at the what was it? What the event was?
Michelada Rumble.
No.
Oh, no. It was to live and die in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there.
Another function.
And we just
Yeah.
gravitated towards their booth and like we just had a conversation
Literally.
and we talked about we were barely starting the podcast. Like there was nothing.
We literally went there from here.
Facts.
Like after here, we went
That's right.
there, and like that's the conversation we were having. So it was pretty cool.
It was like new, everything was brand new and then we connected and then I think Chris just does a really great job of connecting people. I don't know how to explain you, but sometimes you're just like a
Social butterfly.
connector. Yeah.
Wow.
But he does a
I like
really good
that.
he does a really good job of like, here you go and handle and I'm a dip out because you have a lot to give. I don't have like I'm not gonna support you in this conversation because you already solito have enough to give and I trust it and then I'm out.
That's
You
right.
know?
Never heard it like that. Sounds really nice. That way.
Well, I was just
You're
watching
really
you.
good at networking people. Like,
That's good.
But you do it
It's
you
cool.
do it so like gracefully. Like
Naturally.
you're like, all right, gotta go.
Here's a beer. I'm gone.
I'm gone. Yeah.
That's right, big dog.
The
You
homie right here does the same thing though.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just, you know what I mean? I learned off the best.
Oh
Come
wow.
on.
That's cool. You learned from him.
TikTok famous. You
verbals.
know what I mean? Let me know.
Oh, we're not
Okay,
we're
my
talking
bad.
about you, my boy.
Well, I saw it from you, but if he showed you, where did you
I
get that
mean,
from? Let's go.
That's how I live my life. You know, just I live my life so other people can mimic what I do, whether that's giving back, networking,
Mhm.
producing, whatever it is. Like that's proof that it's working. You know, so
that's your intention.
100%.
Yeah.
So
Good reflection of his mañas.
Yeah, and I think we lack a lot of that in our communities too. Like, it's always like mine, I keep it. Mine's like shit. If I don't need it, go ahead and use it. And even if I do need it, here still go ahead and use it. You know what I mean?
I think that's what I enjoyed even being at that event was that everyone, there was no like, it's mine, or I'm not going to give you information, or I'm not going to connect you. Like, it was just it felt abundant. It felt like, yeah, here. Like, it felt so natural and so nice. And I'm just so grateful to have been there because that's where I met each and every one of you. And like, we came here and I think it's good. And I think that each of you have a beautiful message to give to the world, and we have this platform, and why not use it?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for sure.
We really appreciate your time.
Of course.
Yep.
So Jerry, I don't know if you want to share a little bit about you and like where a little backstory.
Man, I have a story, and I probably have to do like 3 or 4 podcasts.
Wow.
But
okay, we'll come back.
Yeah,
a lot of
just simplify it just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, I know this guy, so we're speaking of commonality. I know Chris from being busted, incarcerated.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
The first time I met him, without saying too much, I came off a life sentence. So because I came off a life sentence, my points dropped, and I was able to go to a level 3. And because I was able to go to a level 3, they shot me way out to buttfuck, Mississippi. And
good times.
Yeah, yep.
You went to
Came across.
Mississippi?
Yeah,
That's
He
where
was
you
there
were
already.
at?
Yeah, he was there already. So
Oh, okay.
No, we've been at a lot of places, but that's where we met.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
see.
where we met. Yeah, yep. So met this dude, and we had that common interest of being part of the Chicano movement, educating our people. We
So
had
what-
big ideas for, okay, when you get home, you're gonna do this. When I get home, I'm gonna try to do this too. And
that's cool.
we stayed in contact. We're not supposed to have phones in there, but some of us were, so baby,
Grateful.
yeah, grateful, and just stayed in contact, stayed in communication, and came home, and he was doing his thing, trying to do his thing with the shirts. I was trying to do my thing with the acting, and just learning anything I could in that field, and we just kind of blew up from there. You know what I mean?
And what does the Chicano movement look like inside of like prison or?
There's a lot of stages. The stage, I went through what would be called, without getting too crazy into it, because like I said, even that can take a long time.
That's a
of
whole
learning.
nother
Yeah,
wormhole.
It seems like
Oh, God.
like just for just for example, like right now, a lot of people are into, which is cool, are into like the learning Nawa, our ancestors' language. They're into learning the dances, the rituals, and stuff like that, which is cool. You have to know your history. You have to know where you came from in order to know where you're going. That way you don't repeat the same mistakes, I guess you can say. But learn from those mistakes and to advance. So where I'm at with the movement, that would be considered cultural nationalism, which is fine. But using an example of where that backfires, learning Nawa didn't get a lot of us home. Learning Nawa didn't get some of the homies out the shoe. It's learning the enemy's political line and using, litigation, law, learning what we're up against today and applying that to today's standards and trying to advance our people. But right now, where we're at is just kind of educating our people. And with shows like this, podcasts, movies, film, anything that revolves around the arts.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's blowing up. That's always been part of our community.
Right.
So, but that's one little small part of where we're at.
But to take back on what you said, right? So like in prison, it's not big, but the homie got a lot of good clecha where he was at. So it is what it is. You take from what's given, and that's how we ended up meeting, because we were on the same page in the sense of just bettering our people and our culture, and to be able to just give them more knowledge.
I see.
But it's rare in there to find people that are like, you know what I mean, on the same page.
Well, that's what I mean, because I don't see it from a prison perspective, right?
Yeah,
I'm in the I work with juveniles, right? And I see the system, and so a lot of these boys are like just walking through. They're being led by the blind, right? They don't.
Yep.
The people that are
surviving.
they're surviving. It's really ugly. I was just talking about this earlier. Like, it's just the way that it's in there. It's so survival. Like, what culture do they get? Where who are their role models? Because these DPOs are their role models, right? But they're going in there and testifying against them. If you say something about something that you love, they'll sit in court and say that you're this person and you're disrespectful and you have anger issues because you told me about your past. Like, how do they create
Using
culture
it against themselves? Yeah,
they do, and so they lack trust in there, and they lack how I build myself. And where do they build themselves up? Because then they come back out to the communities, and then they're back in a cycle, right? And then they get put back into the system. And so that was my curiosity, really, really, like, what does that look like in a prison, and how how can I take what's there, you know, because there's some kind of culture, there's something there, right? Something that you got picked up that I could give to these boys that are just so lost, like, and it's so
they're
sad.
kind of facing, not to cut you off, sorry. They're kind of facing a double oppression because they're young and they haven't been through a lot. They're limited to their, you know, their community. They're limited to the whole world out there. You know what I mean? And it's not, you know, it's, you don't have people like us, and even me growing up, you didn't have that. And if you did, it was like, when you're young and at that age, you really don't give a fuck. You're like, it goes in one ear, it goes out the other. I think me growing up, we had it was up and coming, was that Victory Outreach. You know what I mean? And it was a religious perspective. You know what I mean? It was like, that I don't want, you know what I mean? It sounds good, but at the end of the day, I still got to go to my neighborhood. I'm going to hear all the homies, and they don't give a fuck about that shit.
Go back to the frying pan.
Well, that's what they said. Like, I'm teaching them yoga right now. I'm teaching them meditation. I'm teaching them all about healing. And they're like, Sylvia, like, this is cool. Like, I love it. I understand it. I feel it. But I'm going to go back into my community. I'm going to do yoga outside my house. You think I'm going to be safe outside my house doing yoga, meditating? Like, there's no space for me. I'm going to go back into the ugliness of it. So, you know, it's a community thing. And I think that even creating like, me and you, Chris, talked about it, creating like a, you know, like a mixer for the kids where they can intern or meet people just like you and be like, look, there's kids that I have that want to be actors or want to have their own business, you know, like, so in that, or want to be advocates one day, right? So I think in that, like, they're here, they exist, here you are, right? You can be this one day. You don't have to be the, you know, the intern or whatever, like something stupid, like go work at McDonald's. Like, I mean, it's not bad, but it's like, there's something bigger here. These are the men that
there's that
there.
option.
They're
like,
here,
it's not
they
just
exist.
going back and this is what you got. Like, this all
you're gonna get.
Yeah. No, you can do a lot more. Like, you know, there's a lot more out there for you to do. You have all these options. Don't limit yourself. And they sometimes don't know that because it's like
because they're young. They haven't been able to step outside the realm of whatever.
They don't even know you exist.
Well, I gotta make money. I gotta do it somehow.
Yep.
And this is easy and I could do it. And like, you know, it's that work that you gotta
mentality.
Yeah.
I think what happens with that too is these kids, you know, they're following something that's so false that they end up just kind of sabotaging themselves and settling for the lowest of the totem pole, you know, and then that's where that cycle keeps going, is they just resort to violence, resort to the streets, and they never really had a chance to resort to anything else. So that's where we come in hand, you know, that's where we come in, and we're here to show them that, you know, you don't have to flip up on your homies. You don't gotta be, you know, a born again Christian, or you don't gotta, you know, have some type of different narrative. You could just be real and lead the youngsters to something positive. You know, at least try. You know, because there's not really too many people trying out there.
And you said something key, which is the bottom of the totem pole, which is where they're at.
Yeah.
They don't even know. Like, they're like, fuck it. Like, what else do I have? Where do I go?
No one else believes in them.
No one else. So then here now, like, what at your bottoms, right? At the bottom of wherever you guys were at, what helped you? Like, where was your like light? How did you get through that darkness? Or whatever it was, whatever you described it as. Whoever, I don't know. I just asked all of you.
My darkness.
So I mean, me personally, just always being negative, I just found myself always getting the short end of the stick, you know. And I finally, after getting shot 5 times, and you know, going to jail for running over my mom's husband, to going to jail for putting a gun in my kid's mom's mouth, like, all those situations, I found myself lonely in a cell, like kicking myself in the ass, like, damn, maybe there was another way of expressing my anger or my sadness or whatever the case was, you know. And I think just those trials and tribulations and still coming out ahead is like motivation for me to show the youth that just because they messed up a few times or 20 times, like, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and we're here to prove that.
What is it that like specifically like allowed you to be like, okay, like, I'm switching this up, like, I'm no longer thinking negative, like, I'm gonna think positive,
or like
now.
what tool, right?
Like, or what tool? Yeah,
well,
like,
me
what
personally,
tool?
what happened to me personally for that change, a lot of people are like, oh, did you change your life because you got shot 5 times? Like, nah, I didn't. I was still running amok after that, like, even harder, you know. And what changed my life, and what diverted me from being negative is I ran into some dude while I was busted. I was fighting 20 years for running over my mom's husband for attempted murder, and I ran into this African American dude, like in his late 70s, just looked like a homeless dude from the streets, and when I came in from court, I was in the stress box. My mom was testifying, and my sister was testifying. And I just felt like I was against the ropes and I really didn't care about stuff. And when I ran into this dude,
You got all distracted.
Just open it. Just go ahead and open it. Go ahead and open it.
sorry about you.
He likes all the attention on
I'm a
him
little
when he's
parched, my boy.
talking.
Gotta wet the whistle.
And so when I I was at my worst. I had a cast on my leg because they were about to amputate it, and I was just still stomping fools out with my cast. Like,
Asshole.
they called me football and Supermax because I was just kicking that shit. You know what I mean? And
Use it to your advantage, huh?
yeah, and I just didn't care, but at the same time, I did. You know what I mean? Like, I just
Deep down.
Yeah. I missed. I just wanted to be good. Like I felt like life was just kicking me in the ass.
What is that? Because I feel like a lot of the boys that I work with, they are like, they be doing some crazy shit. And I'm like, dude, but you like really care.
But
we're
I know,
broken.
miss. But I know.
It's not machismo,
machismo,
yeah.
and it's just broken.
Yep.
Like just
like you
You
a
don't
lot
want
of
it to
that-
show because you don't want it to come off as, like you said.
you're soft.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, what makes you want to show it?
When you're young, you gotta.
I mean,
especially
me
being, like,
personally,
now you
I
have a
got
lot
a
of
high out of
testosterone.
violence. Like I was never a drinker. I never did
Yeah.
drugs, but my high was just inflicting
But the desmadre.
injuries. Yeah, like that. I just got a high off that, and my mom would tell me like, "Mijo, there's someone always bigger and badder than you out there. Like, you better be careful." I was like, "Run it!" I can't believe that until I was shot 5 times and I was on the floor gasping for air. Like, damn, I kind of got caught slipping right here,
Mama,
as
you're
my
right.
brother was dead next to me, So, like all those life happenings,
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, all 3 of us, like,
Yeah.
and many other homies out there,
Yeah,
we've
exactly,
been through
yeah.
so much, and
Trauma.
we're
To
still
where it becomes
here.
natural. It's almost like I said, you don't know, and the youth they're facing a double oppression because they're young and they haven't been able to step outside that. But they're facing a double oppression because being young, you really can't go out and do a lot anyways. You can't. I mean,
There's nothing out there for
yeah,
us.
there's
Or
they're
yeah,
already
I'm
limited to
young,
options
you're
in your
young.
community. You're already limited to resources and options in your community, and then to go out and want to work or do whatever, that even you're still limited because
Right.
you're underage. You can't. There's only so much you can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
and
yeah,
then you got to
can't-
come back.
You can't even leave your block because then you'll get shot. You know what I mean? No matter if you
That
gang
part
bang or
too,
not.
yeah.
Like, it's just like you're fucked all the way around. It's like, damn, like what can I do? And if you don't have the resources in your own neighborhood where you feel comfortable and safe, then you're fucked. You know what I mean? It's all bad.
Could I get back to my story
yeah,
before
time.
you were talking? I was
Spend
like,
time.
to the side over here. So
Pouring beers.
for real, man.
Would you like a beer?
No, I'm good.
Right.
I don't drink. Nah, I'm playing. Anyway, so what changed my life was running into a prophet. And he told me straight up, he's like, I'm a prophet from God, and I'm here to give you tell you to shape up. And if you don't believe me, God's gonna pluck one of your kids from your life to make you realize that he's in control. And I was in the middle of the dorm, like, what the fuck? And we talked for like maybe an hour and a half. I cried in front of like 80 homies.
Just so you know, you're not supposed to cry.
But so the
Just so you know, you
the-
should not
yeah.
cry.
So what happened is he pretty much proved to me that he knew more than what I thought he knew,
Yeah.
and I got on the phone with my kids, and because I kind of was like, who is this guy? Is it like some secret person here? I didn't know, because the stuff he was telling me was like way.
You ever
out.
run into him again or no?
Nah,
Run
so,
into him?
so I
Oh,
went back.
yes.
So
No,
I
I've
went
seen-
back
I've
to
heard-
my
I've heard, but-
bunkie, and I was kind of tripping, like, damn, am I gonna get a calentada for talking to this fool or what? And because that's how long I was talking to him, and I was like, "Hey, fool, did you see that?" And he was like, "Nah, what are you talking about?" And I was like, "I was talking to this fool right now," and he's like, "What?" He's like, "I didn't even see you." I'm like, "Yeah, I was talking to that guy right there in the bunk," and when we both looked, his bunk was cleared, like he was never there. And that was my turning point.
That was that moment.
That's when I was like, what the fuck? Like I didn't even know how to pray, but I just started talking to God, and to be honest with you, I was talking to every God out there.
Just anyone.
Like I needed help from
General.
everyone right now, and and things happened, and my mom ended up like changing her statement, and I ended up getting like 22 months.
Wow.
You know, and I was facing 22 years. Like, what the fuck, you know? And when I came out, it was still more trials. Like, I was homeless. You know, I was living in the parks of Covina, and because I didn't really have a family to turn back to, and I was at my lowest of the low, and I wrote a letter to the judge from that case that I had from running over my mom's husband, and I asked him to expunge my criminal record because I was better than being homeless, you know.
Right.
And yeah, he sent me a letter like 2 months later, and he expunged all my record. And so from then, it had to be positivity, because if it wasn't, then I would be the fool, you know.
Right.
And that was my changing point. How about you, big dog?
So I was a born again Christian. I say, puro pedo. Nah, so I don't think I have a turning point still to this day, because I'm still like, that's to say,
You're
like,
right. You're right.
you know what I mean? But like,
We're working on that.
Yeah, I still catch myself doing dumb shit, you know. But like,
Well, I think that's not bad to do dumb shit.
It's
it's not
bad.
It's not but because it's like, dude, I was 34.
See,
and-
like it's bad.
It's horrible.
so negative.
It's horrible.
Like no, it's bad.
But it's more like I calm down a lot, right? And I tell like people, if you're gonna gangbang, if you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do, be stupid about it. But there's just a different way now to do it, right? Like just be smarter, because I catch myself all the time doing dumb shit, and I have to like, and I think it's my support system around me to be able to check me, right? Like my homies, just my kids, especially, like they'll pull me aside and be like, Dad, you're doing the most, or hey, fool, chill out, you're doing the most. I'm like, all right, cool. But I don't think us growing up in the neighborhoods and in our barrios will never ever change, right? It's always gonna be a part of us because we're so fucking. We've done it for so long. It's a part of us. It's who we are.
Poetic
you know?
warriors.
We've almost died for that.
Yeah, exactly,
Yep.
right? So it's like we will never change, but we could tweak it a little bit, right? So that's why like I try to tell the youngsters all the time, and just homies like, yeah, that's cool if you want to go back to your neighborhood, do your thing, but at the same time, let's make that money first. You know what I mean? Let's get ourselves right, nice house, good family, make sure everyone's right, and then go from there. So I don't think, me personally, I don't think I would ever change. That's who I am. And then because again, like 34, man, I've just been doing this shit for so long. It's just stuck in me as a person, and it's hard to change it after it's been changed so many times, because I've been foster care, I've been in prison, so I met the homie Knuckles. Like I've been through the ringer my whole life, right? And a lot of the things that saved me were just me. Like I volunteered as a 14-year-old at a special ed center all the way till I was like 18, 19. I even had my homeboys go kick it with me there, like to try to change them in a sense, but just to show them like, look, we could do something better. Like now, this day, we do a lot for our communities. We try to give back. We feed the homeless. We do a lot of dope shit, and we try to do that to basically feel good in a sense, right? Like we're not always fucked up.
It's a type of medicine and therapy for sure.
Yeah, it is a very big one.
Just to have someone like thank you genuinely and be like, hey, thank you, I needed that,
And you can feel it, like when it's genuine, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you can feel that. And that right there is why I do it. I'm sure that's why you do it and you do it. Like,
Yeah.
we haven't been thanked in our lives.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, our parents
different
didn't
kinda
thank
high.
us.
Yeah,
The system didn't thank us.
Yeah.
Like nobody along the way is thankful for us, you know. And now to be able to make an impact on our own hoods, or you know, Skid Row, or
Youth.
you know, I go to Mexico and I do work for the orphans out there and for the homeless people out there. And when people say thank you to you with tears in their eyes, like that shit holds weight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole motivation to do more things, you know, is to get another thank you along the way. You know, and that's not always the reason to do it, to get thank yous, but when the thank yous come, they're genuine, like that shit hits different.
What's the energy you guys are putting out into the world?
It's
like,
just, you know, it just certifies that you're helping people.
Right.
Like
it's the physical manifestation of what you're putting
sure.
out, and the energy you're creating in yourself by, like, you know, doing the work. Because realistically, when you sit yourself down and have that talk with you, or pray, or whatever you're doing, like you're putting out an energy into the world. And then when someone thanks you, it's that physical manifestation of like, oh, got it. Like, I see you. Thank you. That was it. Like, it's just the reflection of what you already have known inside of you. Like, you just see it over and over and over again. So I it's not about the thank you. It's about, oh, like it's a reminder for me, like to
Each
keep
one
going.
teach one.
And I think too, why I do a lot what I do, me personally, is because that was me. You know what I mean? Like for them to
Yeah.
just
sure.
be like, hey, you need a hug, you need to talk, you need a conversation. You're going through some shit. Like, let me hear you, because I never had anyone like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than my tias, and like I had a lot of hardworking women in my life to be able to be there, but I never had a male. You know what I mean? So for us to be males and doing what we do now,
Yeah.
I think they need that and they lack that, right? So it's like when they get that, like just be like, hey, fool, you're doing a good job, homie. Like
That's
just the way
it.
we talk, you know what I mean? Because like just some random person go up to him and try to say it to him, but if they get it to the way we say it, because that's how they understand it,
Yeah.
it's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hits
For
different.
sure.
For
You know
sure.
what? That's actually so, like, you were saying that, and I was thinking to myself, like, it's so important because in social services, like, the amount of males in social services is so small. Like, it's like
Pure
this
female,
percentage
yeah.
amongst, like, so many females.
Because it's
Right.
a mother's instinct at the same time.
Right. But to know, like, because you're an advocate, right? And you're doing that work, and you're in that work, and they're looking at you. It's that credibility that's seen, like, oh, you know what? Like, I can go because you know what that looks like.
There's that
You know,
masculinity.
yeah.
that's
It's
missing.
and sometimes they need that. Like,
Yeah,
they
do,
want
yeah.
that. They like they feed off of it, and it's like, oh, like, okay, like, I see. Like, it's not a woman telling me. It's a man telling me.
Well,
Wow.
and then
You
that's
know?
what we've talked about.
Yeah.
It's the balance between you guys are male, right? You
Yeah.
guys are male, right? But realistically, the hey, you're doing a great job is a very feminine thing to do. Not saying you guys are feminine, it's not about
Yeah.
gender, right? It's about the energy of being like, I got it. I got the balance, because a lot of people don't have it. It's too much ego, or it's too much female
Yeah.
too much energy, right?
Femininity
So
versus
fake.
masculinity.
so you have to find
Yeah.
the balance, and I think you guys are doing it to find the balance between, yeah, I'm a male and I still do my shit and I'm still on whatever, but then there's something else that you need to go right, and it's based off love, or based off like,
Relatability is a big one too.
yeah, there you go. And I think you're relatable because you guys are males, right? But then there's something else that you give them, which is the gratitude, that feminine energy to be like, hey, like, it's okay, slow down, it's cool, like you don't have
You don't
to
have
be
to always
so
be
aggressive.
machismo in every
don't-
conversation. You could be, hey,
Exactly.
we're the homies kicking it. We're just chopping it up like the homies do in your hood. You
And
know
I
what
think you guys have
In every hood.
found that balance,
Balance.
That common ground. Yeah.
that balance,
Literally.
and it may, yeah.
Literally. That balance. You guys are showing that, like, yeah, you can be machismo, you can do this. But you can have
Yeah.
emotions. Like,
Yeah.
they're
I mean,
there. Like,
it's just
you know?
about being real.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we all mess up. We will
Yeah.
always continue messing up. And
It's human.
as long as you keep that chest out, that chin up through whatever turbulence is
Yeah.
before you, like, that's what counts, because only the strong ones survive, you know?
Nah.
But it's the accountability is like that higher self in you, right? That understanding, like that forgiveness of like, I've already been through that, it's cool, everything's gonna be okay.
Versus
and-
giving up on yourself.
Mhm.
I think it's real easy to give up on yourself.
Yeah.
So,
It's easier to give up.
for sure.
It's easier to give up.
I think that's a good approach. It's just letting, like, you know, some of the youngsters that I have talked to is just being real with it. Like Caesar's saying, pretty much just you know, I don't want to come off too soft. So some of the youngsters that I do talk to, I try to be as real as possible, and I tell them you're going to continue to make mistakes. It's not going to happen overnight, but understanding that aspect will open up a lot of doors. Like, okay, cool, you know, I'm gonna fuck up, but at least I know there is more out there that I can do, and there's
Yeah.
a way I can do it. I mean, if you're doing it and you're talking to me as real as possible, like, you know, just an example. One of the youngsters I was talking to recently, and I was telling him, like, look, I can't put my foot in my mouth and tell you not to do something that I did. You're gonna learn, and some of these lessons you're gonna have to learn the hard way. But I hope that you understand that me going through what I went through, you know, again, if you're gonna have to do it, you're gonna have to do it. But
Yeah.
hopefully you learn before you do that, and it opens up that door. It's like, shit, if the homie already did it and he said there's nothing there, let me take his advice and see if there's another direction. You know what I mean? But
Because they don't see that at that moment, right? In
They-
that
they
moment,
don't.
they're not.
Exactly.
But
Yep.
then they're gonna face a moment, a very pivotal moment, and all of those voices and all of those people
Yeah.
that like have ever told them something, like, that makes sense. I got it. I understand that, you know. And we're planting seeds, or we're saying
Yeah.
things that maybe we'll never see again. Maybe you talk to that kid one time and you're never gonna see him again, but you gave him an intentional word, an intentional affirmation, an intentional guidance that I don't know if you're gonna take it, but this is what worked for me. This comes from a genuine place,
sure.
from a place of love. Wherever that goes, I know it's gonna grow. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I just gotta step back and surrender to that. Here you go. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's important because if you want to try to save everyone in your community, it's impossible. And some people
they get lost.
Yeah, they or they take it personal. Like people in our positions, like they give up. Like, oh, I can't help nobody. I'm gonna just give up. But as long the way I see it is, if before I die, and if I help one person or one kid, like that's a job well done to me. You know what I'm saying?
There's something
sure.
you gave down, whatever it is. Whether, like you said, whether it's one thing or not, like it's something, and hopefully they use that to do something else with it.
And that's how we do it. Like we just kind of give them the recipe and let them cook. And if they
that was good.
But yeah, like if they don't choose to cook that meal, then that's on them. At least they got the recipe for later.
For real, huh?
It's patent ready.
I'm like,
damn.
Damn.
Hey, can we put that? Can we look? What is that called when you like trademark something? Can I trademark
copyright? Copyright?
No, I want to trademark.
We'll have to write something up.
Then I want to say something cool.
And Chris's mind's gonna be like,
for a reaction, there's a reaction.
What goes up must come down.
Oh, it's so funny. Well, yeah, I mean, like, I think each of your stories are so important because I think also it's important because you have something to teach them that they probably is so foreign to them, right? And I think one of the things we wanted to talk about too was like, how do you show appreciation for yourself? Like, what is it if you do on a day-to-day, if it's on a day-to-day, because sometimes it doesn't happen on a day-to-day, right? That helps you kind of like, because we all go through things, right? We all go through stress. We all go through all kinds of shit, whatever. But what is it that helps you kind of like
decompress?
Yeah, like, either decompress or like show yourself appreciation or so. And I know you kind of said like, it's not as common, you don't hear it, but you get a support from others or you doing what you do. And although it doesn't seem like it probably to others, but in a sense, it's like it is a self-love because that's what I like to do, But I don't know, any of you want to talk about that?
So me personally, like the way I kind of self-love in a sense is being around my friends and my family at times. Because that could be overwhelming as well. Because then there's a lot of drama in between that.
Like you get to like kind of like just put your hair down, huh? Like let your hair
relax.
Why does it have to be on my hair? It's in a bun, my boy.
I was just waiting for that part because you usually do. When we all kick it.
It needs to be up right now, my boy.
We're serious.
It kind of puts me at ease too.
My bad. Let me check myself.
But like to be around my friends, my family, like I've always been like that because I've never had it, right? So like to be around them, it makes me feel comfortable and safe. But at the same time, to be around certain people, individuals, like I got a couple homegirls, I got people that I'm seeing that make me just feel comfortable, right? Like it's different. And then my kids, of course, like that's my always number one. But I've learned doing a lot of time, music's my thing, right? Music, writing down, just if I feel some type of way, I'll write it down and then I'll just flush it. You know what I mean? Because that's just me letting it out and then just me decompressing, just be like, you know what, it's okay. You can't make everyone happy. You're never gonna make everyone happy, but as long as you're happy, you're cool. You know what I mean? Like fuck what everyone else says, in a sense, right? But like at the end of the day, that's what it is. Like I'm gonna still do me because, like I tell people all the time, you're not gonna be there. You probably won't be there. And going to prison helped me a lot in a sense. Like fuck CDCR, they didn't help me for shit. But I mean, in a sense of like finding out what I want and who I am as a person, right? Like because I've been in the hole, I've been in the C status. And it makes me realize like, damn, like I haven't got a letter from no one in a whole year. I'm just sitting here by myself with a book. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it makes me realize like who I am and what I want and what I deserve as a person, setting the boundaries, all this stuff, right? And then finding a good person to be with, spending my time, because again, I don't owe anybody nothing. They don't owe me nothing. So if I'm giving it to you, appreciate it. And then the same, you know what I mean? If you give me your time, I'm going to appreciate that as well. Mm-hmm. And if I feel like this is not going anywhere, then I'm going to just exit the way I came in. You know what I mean? With all due respect. Yeah. But again, like it is what it is. And I'm learning little by little. And I don't think anyone's ever going to perfect it. But you learn as you get older because everything changes as you get older at the same time, you know?
Your circumstances, all that.
Yeah, exactly. So like right now I'm in a good place and I still need to work on it a lot. Therapy, like I know our culture doesn't really believe in therapy.
Oh, how's that going? Do you
But
do therapy?
no, I haven't. But like my friends are my therapy in a sense. Like I
that's your therapy.
yeah, I talk to them and
But we therapists, we're each other's therapists too.
yeah,
What the
like,
couch is for.
I mean, again, and again, it's that relatable factor, right? Like, so I can't talk to someone that doesn't fucking know what I'm gonna go
That's
through,
what we've
right?
talked about.
And
We
that's
literally have talked
And that's a
about
reason why a lot of
yeah.
people don't go because they're like, dude, you're not gonna fucking know how it is to have because I have 5 kids, right? Like, you're not gonna know how it is
Damn.
to fucking deal with 5. Don't say that, my boy. Don't be disrespectful right now. I'm like, but like,
I had to
You've
break
been
that up
blessed.
because
You've
you're
been
kind
blessed
of on a,
with
you're kind
5
of on a streak
kids.
right now.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna. I thought you were
so
gonna
use
swing on the
condoms,
mic,
everybody.
my boy.
So bottom line
Yeah,
is,
bottom line, use condoms. If not,
do
pull out. You
Come
don't
on.
let them get you drunk. But,
And now come talk to me.
Yeah, but like, so it's a lot, you know. So again, like you don't want to go to someone that's gonna judge you or just kind of give you that stank face, and it's hard for us to find someone that's gonna relate to everything I'm doing. And
Or
I
you
have.
know what? You know what's worse too. Sorry, I don't. I
Please
just
go
want-
ahead since you want to be on the
What's worse is like
How much time do I
like
got
when
left?
when I was in like facilities and stuff, and you go talk to your little counselor or whatever, and you walk out and they're like, "I understand what you're
No, you
going
don't.
through."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so let me tell you. No.
Pause. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
No, because it's really
emotional
true.
moment.
It's really true.
That
talking
shit's
about
the
his
worst.
feelings.
Before you could go back. Hold on.
See that big one?
Chill, bro. Chill.
No, but it's really true because we work out. Like we were those people, right? And we would say, like, I would catch myself. It's like, oh, we would say, like, oh, I understand you. And it's like, wait, like,
Do you really?
but do
I
I really
don't.
understand you?
Ugh.
I understand you to a degree,
Mhm.
but I don't if I've never been through what you've been through, how can I really understand you? You know?
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things that I had to catch myself, and it's like, oh, I hear you. I
Yeah.
hear what
Yeah.
you're saying. You know, because I can't really use that because I would be the same way. But like, well, wait, how do you really understand me? You've never
I was
done
firing
that, you
on
know?
counselors at 10 years old for saying that shit.
Yeah,
Straight
so it's
up.
like, you know, so but I think that's why
that's
in the
crazy.
home, like it was so important to build that rapport. Like at least for us, that's how I really felt. Like
So what do you
building
guys
that
use
rapport.
now? Like reflective listening, like or how do you guys go about it now then? Or
Well, we're not in the home anymore.
Oh,
We're
okay.
not in the home
Yeah,
anymore. So we're not on a day-to-day with them like
Okay,
that as
yeah.
we were before.
yeah,
But really, like I think my biggest thing is just hearing them out.
Yeah.
Like hearing whatever it is you gotta say, like I'll hear you out, no judgment. I was actually telling her the other day, it's like at our work, we had a meeting and they're like, what's one good deed that you can do for your job? And I was like, well, honestly, like I'll just hear you out. Like you have something
Yeah,
going on, I'll hear you out.
It's the best thing.
I'm not gonna
free,
tell
no
you what to
cost.
do if I'm because I could tell you what to do and you might not even do it. You know, and
You only
sometimes you just
advise them.
gotta I can advise you, but even then I'm not really a good person to like advise like that, to be very honest with
Because
you.
you're still going through things. 'cause you're
Yeah,
still
so
working
it's
on
like-
But
yourself.
I would think you would be the best person to do it because again, you're going through things, right? Like because you
But
know,
that's exactly how I do it. And I was about to say what
Sorry to cut
Jared
you
was
off.
saying.
No, it's okay,
Yeah,
it's okay.
like you
All
did to me.
kinds of cutting off.
We're just like,
Hot topic.
It's like the freeways in LA. Like, shit, motherfuckers cutting you off.
5 to 10.
we're all being patient, cutting each other off.
Hot topic.
Don't
Hot
worry,
topic.
guys. So, but now I forgot what I was gonna say.
We're talking about
About cutting her
how
off.
yeah.
A lot of people coming off on the way here.
Oh, so I think that being relatable, like saying I'm going through things. Like the other day, I was doing yoga with the kids, but prior to that, the day before we had that yoga session, it was really hard because there was a lot of interruptions. There was this kid who came in, and 5 POs came in, and they're like, "You can't be in here." It was just a scene,
Yeah.
and I was trying to facilitate a class, and there were so many interruptions, and then I was just like overwhelmed, and then they were overwhelmed because they were taking all the energy from everyone, and it was a lot, and I was trying to teach them and they weren't taking it, and I'm like, and I stopped it early, and I'm like, all right, boys, we're leaving, and they're like, nah, miss, come on, I'm like, no, we're stopping, right? And so I was really hard on myself, and I was like, man, like, what did I do wrong? Like, I should have not stopped it. I should have kept going. Like, I should have just kept, and then I reflected, and then I came back with them, and I was like, look, like, I'm gonna reflect with you guys because that was hard. That was ugly, and I'm going through things, right? Like I'm a human being, and then I think I gave them. I'm a human. I'm not a facilitator. I'm not this person. I still do my own thing. I'm a human. I have feelings. I go reflect. I have a life outside of this, right? Because I think sometimes when we see counselors or people like that in the system, they're only that person.
For
They're
sure.
not a real person.
It's
So I
just
think
staff.
literally, and I think I gave them. No, I am a human with feelings, with emotions. I go home and I reflect. Like I care about you guys, and I do this because I love it, right? And I gave them a piece of me, and they took it, and then all they did was give me them.
And it's a
That's
different
cool.
reaction
Yeah.
now.
You open up that door for them to like, okay, well, she's always here for us. Let's be here for her.
And they were,
That's good.
and
That's
they
cool.
were, and they all did the yoga. They hate doing the shit because they're boys. Like, why are they gonna go do
But
yoga?
now they enjoy it.
And now they enjoy it. And now they look forward to it. And they're on
That's right.
quarantine right now. So they're like, Sylvia, when are you going to come
Shit.
back? And I'm like, I'll be back soon because we're doing butterflies. It's a beautiful thing. I'm teaching them about the cycle of life through butterfly. I go into it, but
So I do
Like you're raising butterflies?
yeah, we're gonna
That's
do
bomb.
butterflies.
I did that as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to do it with them because I felt like this is the
Serio.
Your guys is just looking
Hey,
just like.
it was just beautiful, my boy. I can't just like.
I don't know where the
moment.
joke was. You know.
You
what
did?
I mean?
Did you know that?
Just like,
Hey, Chris,
Fill
did
me
you
in,
know that?
homie. I raised
Did you know that he
butterflies as a
raised
kid.
butterflies?
man.
And now I do.
See, look.
You are a very
Wow.
interesting man.
I raised 7.
Oh, not one, 7.
so we're doing monarch butterflies because they're going extinct.
That's
That's
bomb.
the
as
orange
fuck.
ones, right?
They're going extinct,
Right.
and I've been
Can
teaching
you
them
can you
about-
mail me a kit? Or-
Yeah, I can.
Hell yeah.
They're going to, and I'm teaching them about the milkweed. So we're planting them because they migrate to Mexico. So I've been teaching them how like what you do here matters
It
everywhere
affects.
in the
That's
world.
a cool little metaphor too.
That's
It's
pretty
such a
sick.
great and
Yeah.
they're learning it and they're taking it because I opened myself to be like, this is more than this. Fuck this shit.
For sure.
Yeah.
Fuck it, because you're leaving.
Mhm.
There's something bigger than you. And even with the butterflies, like they're just taking it. And I know that they don't really understand because they're boys and they're just figuring it out and they're going through their bullshit. But that 1 hour, they love it. Like
Yeah.
they love
It's planting a seed. It's exactly what it
It's
is.
like
Yeah,
taking
so-
them away from the reality of things.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
A positive
that's
escapism.
Free. Like,
So-
you know?
oh yeah.
So I do a lot of reentry work, right? That's what my job is, because like from 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, if you want to fucking
It's
charge me
not a
for the
job if
hour.
you enjoy it.
Yeah,
While
but
he's
no,
raising
I love my
butterflies.
job. I love my job, right? But I love giving back and helping as many as I can because again, we're in that fucked up situation where we have no resources, we have no support, no nothing, and we're there to help them. But one of the biggest thing that we do at CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, I always make it a point to talk about my what I'm doing right now, like right. So like fuck, I tell them like, damn, dog, I'm going through with my baby mamas, or like I'm dealing with this or this and that, and it opens up so many fucking doors because they're like, damn, fool, like okay, like, and then it just goes off,
You're a
right?
person.
How they say it?
And what happened?
Okay.
You need to go ahead, my boy.
I
Speak.
don't know how they say it.
Okay.
That's what I heard. I was just,
No,
I just wanted to make sure that. Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
got real good. Like, okay,
Okay.
go.
You want it again, dog?
Okay.
So
One more
it opens up
One more time.
doors for them to be able to interact, right, and open up because then you're relatable to them, right? So I tell people I can't be a drug and alcohol counselor because I'm not a drug addict. I don't know how it is to be kicked out of my pad for fucking stealing my Hefos TV or fucking, you know what I mean, like
Facts.
just doing some way out shit. Like, so I know
I
my
only know
lane.
this.
And I stay in my lane. You know what I mean? That's what I tell a lot of these people too. Like, stay in your lane, homie. If you don't know your lane, like all this weird ass shit that's going on TikTok and Instagram, like just people doing shit for clout. Stay in your lane, homie.
I was gonna
because-
have us do a TikTok dance.
no, yeah,
You
that's
know,
way
Pretty
out.
good at that.
But
He said, "Fuck that
because
shit."
again, like you test
You
foods.
need
or
to try different things.
you
bro.
test.
I have daughters, so I'm pretty good at those.
But
just saying.
you want to
That's my
test
limit.
people
It's
and
my
do all this,
boundary.
this shit that you guys are that they
your
do
hair-
out
put
there,
your
and
hair
it's just
down.
like for what? You know what I mean? Because you're gonna pick the wrong person, then you're gonna put them back in a situation that you're like, damn, because you wanted to like, come on, man, like, so it's a lot. But again, relatability plays a huge factor in what career you want to do in life, right? Like, so stay in your lane.
Yes, relatability does work because you become human because suddenly you're not, and I'm telling you, like the even the white girls that like come into work, some of them know their lane. Like I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what gangs are you talking about? They'll throw gang signs and stuff, and they don't know, but they understand that's not my lane. But I'm still this person. I care about you. I'm gonna show up for you however I can, and that's real. I respect people that could do that, even if it's not their culture, it's not what they know, they've never even been around it. So I always respect that, no matter where you come from, if you know your lane, you're gonna succeed wherever you're at,
Exactly.
That was good. That was real good.
So Knuckles, tell us about
just
your
observing.
So
and listening.
the moral of the story,
Oh yeah, you
ladies
came
and
back.
gentlemen,
Come back to what you were
is you
saying.
need to stop cutting people off.
Yeah, because you were cut off. For
Yeah.
sure.
You
So
cut off a
what
few
were
What was I
times.
saying? I don't even remember what I was saying. You guys fucked it
Well,
off.
I guess.
You're all
Well, you were
drunk already.
talking about how like
Well, he was just. I think he was just talking
You're
about how
awful.
like when he has
The
when you have
relatability.
your sessions,
Yeah.
the fact that they can relate to you and you opened up a lot of doors.
Yeah, so
Right, you opened up a lot of doors
So it's
for them.
basically a lot of people open up more, right? Like, so we deal with a lot of people that are doing 25 years. They just got out, and then it opens up so much more to be able to share an experience, and then they give you right back because they're like, damn, like that fool reminds me of my dad, or that fool reminds me of my uncle, or that fool reminds me of me. You know
That's
what I
so
mean? Like
rapport.
just the crazy shit that we've done.
There's
but
a lot
yeah.
of approaches. So what has been, not to take over the question part,
This
but
is all you, big
what
dog.
has been the best approach to getting these people to open up? Because I think, I mean, for me, there's been a lot of different approaches, and mine is for the youngsters, and I'll say 18, 19 was what I had access to when we were busted. So getting a lot, like you said, there's a very few people who are into even Chicano studies or anything to do with that realm, period.
Mhm.
But I learned that you have to test different approaches. So,
Right.
like, for example, one of the approaches, like I came up on a book, and it was actually sanctioned by some OGs.
Same.
So, yeah. So, I mean, they kind of helped put this particular book together.
What's the
So, it's called Chicano Power and the Struggle for Aslan. And that's, to
Read
me,
it.
that's
It's good.
very good. It's like, to me, it's the most correct, up-to-date political line if you're looking into developing your Chicano.
Chicanoism.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny.
But like I said, some people were like, a lot of people aren't into that. But like I said, I would use different approaches for different things. So one of the things was like, damn, this book is actually censored in a lot of states. You can't get this book, and that would kind of like pique their interest. Like, okay, we're not allowed to have what's in that book. Or I would use that like, hey, some of the OGs helped put this book together. Like, oh shit, there's that that a little bit of naivety. Am I saying it right? Naiveness, or however you would say it.
Naiveness,
Naivety. Naivety.
Yeah, there you
We
go.
get it.
I couldn't say it.
That's not how you say it.
Nativity. But
Oh, my
anyways, there's a little bit of that
It's a good
to
spot
where
to eat.
there's a little bit of that to where a lot of youngsters, even and me, I was guilty of it when I was younger. They're like, oh, I want to graduate, go to prison, I want to go to the Bay, I want to go do this, I want to go do that. And once I got to the hole or the shoe, it was kind of like, damn, this isn't at all what it was. And I was kind of glad that it wasn't, because the OGs back there were like, nah, youngster, you're gonna go to college, or you're gonna be fucking reading books all day. And I was kind of like, I like doing that too, but damn, it's not at all. Like I said, some of these youngsters don't know that. Like you said, they're kind of going in blind. They don't know nothing. But so I would use different tactics to get them to read stuff like that. I would, like I said, saying this book, hey, it's not offered, you can't get it. It's hard to get this book.
Yeah.
It would get them involved in reading
And
that.
also knowing who your audience is.
That part too.
Because not all kids, not all youth, not all people
Yeah.
engage or understand the same way. Like
Yeah.
I do healing circles all over, like different camps.
Yeah.
All my groups are different.
Yeah.
This camp, their engagement, they want to move. They're also older
Yeah.
and they're more mature.
Right.
So you have to I get to teach them a little bit more
Right.
mature subjects
Right.
rather than the other ones. They were more playful, like they
Okay.
wanted to play. So it was
Yeah.
more a playful approach about
Yeah.
healing. This one's more mature. That's why I'm teaching the
Okay.
butterfly. I could bring in the butterflies because
Right.
I know that they're gonna care
Appreciate
for them,
it.
and a lot of them have
Yeah.
kids. So then I'm also thinking, oh, they have kids, cycle of life. I can, this is
Yeah.
a more mature subject.
Yeah.
I can't do it for the younger ones
Exactly.
that are
Yeah.
on some, they're not gonna give a shit about the
Yeah, yeah.
butterflies.
Yeah.
But these kids are excited about the butterflies
That's
because
cool.
they understand it. So I think yes, definitely different approach
Yeah.
for different people, and you just gotta understand
Yeah.
and test it out and trial and
Yep.
error and trial
That
and
part.
error. For sure.
Sure. You should try to raise roly polies too.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to get a whole goddamn farm going. Look at this food, dog.
All kinds of insects.
I know. Have a roly poly farm for them.
But boys like stuff like that.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just-
Ant farms, roly poly
Yeah.
farms, all that.
Is that what you guys primarily deal with?
Better
Is
learn
is
something.
is
Por favor,
guys,
stop.
like female dudes?
Yeah, well,
Boys?
there's girls, but there's this really small population of juvenile.
How do you get
Oh, okay.
into that line of work? I wanna do some work in
Let's talk later.
group homes. and-
Real quick, I just wanted to know what was your turning point, because I know we didn't hear you.
That's true. That is. Thank you,
Before,
Chris.
was cool.
Steez
Okay.
wants to keep cutting everyone off.
Man, my
Last
turning
time I ever
point.
invite you somewhere.
My turning point. I'm going to use the butterfly as an example.
I got
So,
the email, not you.
yeah.
I get
You had a butterfly moment?
Yeah, I did.
That's right. Let's hear it, Kana.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I've told
shit.
you this one, George, but I'm gonna
That's gonna be
retell the
good.
story.
Okay.
So I
Chris,
was
you
already
need to come up with
serving
something.
life. I got sentenced in 2014, 32 years to life. Um, kind of went in like, fuck it, this is what I signed up for. This is what I'm doing. It is what it is, you know. Balls out.
Cracking.
Yeah, balls out. Like, fuck it, any mission you guys need me to go on, fuck it. I'm here to volunteer for that. But in the back of my mind, like you said, you don't, you, I wanted to be like, damn, this fucking sucks. I'm gonna be here forever. Fuck this place. But you can't show that. I mean, you're in an environment to where it's like, fuck, the weak get they get fucking preyed on. You know what I mean?
You got to laugh about your sentence.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, it's fucking ain't shit. Yeah, I don't 32, give me fucking 32 more on top.
Let's make a sopa. Let's make a spread. Fuck it.
But the reality was that, you know, even before I was sentenced to life, it was like, damn, I was already kind of trying to build a new life. You mean I was able to step out of that realm of like, okay, I'm working for shit. I'm able to buy a house, you know, get my cars. But I was at the same time juggling two lifestyles. I was trying to live the legitimate world, but I hadn't, you know, only been caught up in the criminal world a couple times. So it's kind of like, fuck, you know, I'm still able to get away with it. Let me keep doing it. But like I said, the road came to an end. I hit a brick wall and I ended up getting served 32 years to life for attempted murder with all the cherries on top. But like I said, I got busted probably 2 years into serving my crime while my appeal was still going on. Got sent to the hole, second time, back to back. I just got out of the hole for like a month and got sent back again. And I think the deja vu kind of kicked in, like, fuck, this is where I'm at. Like, this is what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life. Like, fuck this. Like, I just did this. It was every day waking up, deja vu, waking up, like, damn, I'm doing this again. Like, fuck this. You know what I mean? And I think when you have nothing, you're in the hole, you're in the shoe, you have nothing. It's kind of like you have nothing but to pray. Like, kind of like George's situation when he was talking to the Moreno. You have nothing but to pray or meditate and read books. And I hit rock bottom when I went to a visit. Surprise visit. On top of that, my family didn't even know how. We just went to the hole again. They were gonna come see me, where I was gonna have a contact visit. And my daughters were like, "Fuck!" They had to see me behind glass. I'm all double shacked up in the jumpsuit.
Tell them what contact visit is, just so people that don't know.
Okay, so contact visit is basically, you know, you're sitting at a table and I can touch my daughters, I can hug my daughters, I can do, you know, interact with my daughters. Like I said, they were surprising me with a visit. I didn't know they were gonna come, and I had just went to the hole probably like a week into being in the hole. Had barely wrote them letters like, "Hey, don't come to visit me." So my daughters rolled up. I think they gave me like half hour, like, you know, they drove 3 hours down to Calipat, and I'm like, fuck. I had no way of telling them not to come. My daughters are seeing me behind the glass, and they're kind of like confused, like, what the fuck? I thought we were gonna eat with you, hang out with you. So all that just building up, like, fuck. And then getting back to my cell and being like, damn, this is where I'm gonna be for the rest of my fucking life. Like, fuck this, you mean? Got back, they happened to, all my, you know, my celly happened to be at yard, so I kind of just prayed. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of broke down a little bit, cried a little bit, but just like, fuck, you know, fuck this. This is what it is. This is what I signed up for. It is what it is. But I prayed. A little bit, and then within probably the same week, day or two, a book landed in my cell that kind of opened up my, you know, not so much into the Chicano realm because I was already kind of studying stuff like that. But Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements, that landed in my cell, and that was more just for like what we're talking today about self-love, self-care. You know, I don't have to prove nothing to nobody, but at the same time, these are my circumstances, and I have to deal with what I'm dealing with here now. You know, God understand that part, but give me something that I can utilize while in here. And
it's accountability too.
Yeah, right. Within that same day, and I'm gonna throw the homie's name out there. I don't know where he's at now. This is the last time I seen him, but the homie Capone from Cam, he had heard that I was into. Yeah, he had heard that I was into. Yeah, he had heard that I was into the Chicano movement and all that stuff like that. So he slid me some stuff to get for free while you're in the back, you know, in the hole. As far as on litigation, law, and like I said, the homies, the OGs, you know, that was before I even got to Corcoran, but they were already on that game. Like, hey, we've done this before. This is not new. Fuck learning now. Why you're gonna learn litigation, and you're gonna learn stuff that's gonna benefit us as a whole. Right. You know, it doesn't matter what card, you know, Southern Hispanic, Northern Hispanic, Paisa, black, white. It doesn't matter. You're gonna learn something that's gonna benefit us. And it happened to be during a time that was actually a lot of lawsuits going on for the shoe, for the homies that were in the back, that were doing stuff. They were in unity and solidarity to benefit everybody, because they finally opened up their eyes like, fuck, we're up against the enemy, and the only way we're gonna win is if we get together. Yeah. So yeah, you know what I mean? That's right. He slid me all kinds of pamphlets and information of where I can start corresponding with groups to start learning how to write habeas corpus, you know, for my case, for stuff like that. And like I said, it just, once it started coming in, I was like, man, you know, that little prayer, stuff like that starts working. When you're more positive, you start opening up that door, more positive 100%. Stuff starts coming towards you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I said, started learning litigation, started learning law, started writing my appeal attorney. And before you know it, probably like a year later, My case, I got a full reversal, which they say is like a 5% chance. Got a full reversal. Went back to court, fought it again, probably like another year. But like I said, by this time, I already know the law now. I know how to defend myself. And I think the state's seen that. You know what I mean? They're seeing like, fuck, we fucked up. And this dude knows his shit now. So they pretty much shot me a deal. 11 years, signed my new deal, fucking went back and ended up doing 9 out of 11 years. Met this dude along the journey. And like I said, it's opened up the doors and I met a lot of good people. You mean?
Right.
All the homies in the back, fucking George, fucking a lot of people. You mean? And it's just that positivity, opening the good mañas, good networking. Like you talked about to live in Dallas, how you met him. It's stuff like that we're starting to open up our eyes and all assist each other and pull each other and help each other. And that's the goal now. That's
Yeah, I think
where we're at.
I think that's important how you said about putting positivity out there.
Yeah,
because,
big time. Yep.
Shit, I was negative to like the 8. I still am negative.
Yeah, he still is. Yeah, he still
But
is.
like
Yeah.
religiously waking up, just wanting to terrorize the world till like I was 26, and after that, I was like, man, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this way of attack,
Wow.
positivity, and same thing, dog. Just putting positive stuff out there, like you get like 5 positive things back, and it's, sometimes it's so obvious, like to one's eye that you have no choice but to keep being positive. Like that shit's crazy. Manifestation, positivity, and like
surrounding yourself
and
around
just that having that motivation. That shit's
that's what I was gonna say though.
That will move mountains.
That's
Big
so
time.
true.
Straight up.
I was on the phone with her the other day, and it was a really hard day for me. And I was walking, and I was in full blown tears because it was a hard day. And some lady stopped me. She's like, God loves you, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's like, can I pray for you? And it was a fucked up day, and I'm like, yeah. She just took my hands and she just prayed for me, and it like lifted me. And I was like, I think it's because I do the work, and God got me. Like it don't matter. He's gonna come back 10 times, and it's gonna be okay. And those are those moments. Like whatever I put out into the world, I know they're from a good place, from a place of love, and no matter what, like it's just gonna come back to me. I don't know when, I don't know from who, but like it just does. And in that moment, that lady reminded me like it matters. Those little moments. Every time you wake up and you pray for others and you pray for yourself, or you meditate, or you do yoga, or you sit there with good intentions, you write down what's going on in your mind, like all that matters. It's 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But on those ugly, dark days, God's gonna come right back and be like, here you go. Come on. Like let's keep going. Come on.
Yeah, I have a cool little experience with that. I just had a backpack event in my neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
We gave away like 500 backpacks. You guys helped. Thank you.
Yeah, I was there. I was burnt. Not even a pizza I got.
But like
No food.
But literally maybe like 3 weeks before that, I got with my team and we had like a little powwow about how things are going as far as the supplies that we've raised and all that, the money we raised.
Yeah.
And to be very honest with you, my team, one person in particular was like, you know what, George, like we need to either cancel this event or postpone it because we're nowhere close to the organization or the supplies stockholder, whatever that we had this time last year.
I see.
And I was looking at it while I was on the phone with these people. I was like, dang, you guys ain't lying. Like we're it was a lot of it had to do with me. Like I had other shit on my plate, and I put my own stuff on the back end. But what I told her was like, you know what? Hell no, we're not going to cancel anything. We're not going to postpone anything. Like we're going to keep it on my birthday, which that was the significance of it, And sure enough, like 3 days later, I popped up with my fruit cart to raise a little bit money to buy some backpacks, right, in my hood. And some dude pulled up before I was even set up. And he ended up being one of my older homies who I never even met before. And I guess he's been watching me move or whatever. And he pulled up on me and he was like, hey, how's your backpack thing? How's that going? And I was like, oh shit, let me tell you about that. I have this thing going. He's like, no, I know. And he handed me some money. And he pretty much just left. He's like, all right, man, I'll catch you later. And I was with my homie and I was like, hey, this fool just gave me like I saw a couple hundreds in that thing, and I was just like, that's kind of weird, I put it in my pocket. He was like, well, how much is it? And I'm like, I don't know. Wait, hold on. Let him turn the corner.
He's probably messed up.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. He might come back real quick, dog. and I counted it. It was like $1,200 or $1,100.
Damn.
And I literally like I looked up in the sky and I just said I said thanks God, because I think he really saw I was low key panicking. Like, and that right there was like 300 backpacks, you know what I'm saying? Like that, or 200 backpacks. And it was just proof that if you believe and you just stay positive, like things happen. And when that happened that night, I got back to my people and I was like, hey, guess what? I said, shit, we got like a cool amount of backpacks coming because this happened today.
Yeah.
And they were tripping out. They're like, dang, that's crazy because you said it yourself. Like it's gonna happen,
It's gonna happen.
And
Because it's already there. It's already written.
Proof. Yeah, like the proof is in the pudding. That shit happens, As long as you put in that work, you get a little good coming back for sure.
Yeah.
So I have a question. When was your guys' turning point from being madrosas? Damn, that sounds like real deep. Do we have enough time for that?
Nah, I don't think. I mean, we've had like that. I can't even talk.
Desmadrosas.
Yeah, we've had like a few, but I wasn't like bad. Like I don't think I was bad. I'm not gonna be up here and be like, yeah, I did. Yeah, I ditched. Yeah, I did like a few things here
Petty
and there,
crimes.
like petty stuff. Yeah, like I smoked, like things like that. But I think for me personally, why I do what I do and why I like what I do is because I seen what I don't want to, what it looks like, and I was like, yeah, this is not what I want to do, and I'm sure there's more of me out there that are in same situations, and I could do something like, and I for me it's the options. Like this is not the only thing. I have friends that we're in cliques, we're in things like that, but I wasn't a part of it. I would hang out with them, yeah, like I would, but I wasn't a part of it. But I also have parents that were really strict and did certain things. So I kind of was like at that limit, So it's like I could, but I can't. So I'm like in between. I was like in between. So I think for me, that's why I do what I do, or I like what I do, because it's like, I want to give you that option. I want you to see, like, to me, I feel like they want us to stay down here. Like they don't want to see us go up. And I want you to see that you can. Like there's that option, like whether it's through school, whether it's through whatever it is you want to do. Like it doesn't have to be. And I think for me, it's like the only way out I thought was school. Like that's the only way out. I have to do school. And I was like, now I'm like, I don't know if I want to do school. I did school. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. But I don't know if that's really me. Yeah. Was I really doing it for me? Or was I doing it because they were telling me that's the only way out? Yeah. So I think now, like, I'm learning that that's not it. And I want everyone else to see that the same thing. Like, it's not only your education. Like, you could be really smart and not go to school.
The smartest people like Tesla and the other
fuckers, and I'm like
just sit at the garage and jack off and fucking do shit. Like,
yeah, I'm like,
let's cut them off.
No, it's true.
It's true.
It's true. Like they didn't go to college.
No more
and I'm
like, just for you.
It's more than
So I think that's what it is for me. Like as far as Madrosa and things like that, I wasn't too bad. Like I wasn't.
But you could have.
I could have.
Just how you said. Like you could have went this way or that way. Everyone has that option, right?
Yeah. Like
a lot of
I
us just take the other way because it's easier, because that's what we know and what we see all day long. You know what I mean? Because the homies give us attention. Like fuck it, we're gonna go over here and kick it.
Yeah. So it's like I had that option, and but I think and I'm grateful for myself to be like, nah, Benny. Like I put myself on check a lot, and that's where I'm learning now. Is like. You can chill out a little bit. Like you don't have to be like always on top of shit or always like keep yourself on check. Like be free a little. Like I get it. I'm talking to myself right now. It's like I get it. I get it. You want to do
reminder,
shit.
we're here. We're here to listen. Don't trip. We got you.
Yeah, it's just that, like I tell myself like it's okay. Like you don't have to stress out so much. Like you'll be okay. Like you'll be okay. Like it's gonna come when it comes, or like just have a little fun.
I think you have a lot of too much self-control. That's where you were coming from. It was too much self-control that it was limiting you from experiencing the world, experiencing people.
You gotta let off the brake a little.
Yeah,
I have to let off the brake.
Ebony and I in any space, Ebony, nobody would like approach Ebony because Ebony is very closed off, and like
Yeah.
people would be like, "Oh no, I don't," or they didn't want to build a relationship with her because they didn't know. But Ebony is like the greatest person that I've ever met, you know.
That's right. Shout out Ebony.
But it took me.
Say that.
It
Until
took
she
me.
met us.
It took me
Yeah.
5 years to break her.
Yeah.
It took me 5
Yeah.
years to break her, like for
All
her
these
to.
walls, yeah.
Yeah, and so she saw like, oh, okay, and then so she opened herself to really like understanding because I'm too free. I'm too like
Yeah.
like where do you
Yeah.
want to go? Like
You two know each other from.
we met in high school. We met in middle school,
Okay.
and then we knew each other in high school, and then in college. We had a Chicanos class together because we
Yeah.
minored in Chicano studies.
That's right.
And we met in the class, and that's when I saw her. I'm like, oh, Ebony, hi, my friend.
And I was like,
'Cause I didn't have
"Alright,
friends,
cool."
and
like, let me go
And
sit
so
over
we
there.
were just
Wow.
friends out of pure school stuff. And I
Right.
think because of that building, and I just again allowed Ebony to be Ebony, and I never pushed her to be anything that she didn't want to be. And she saw how free I was. It freed her to be like,
That's right.
oh, I
Let
don't
that
have to
break
be
go a little.
this.
And she stuck around. Like, I think I've had a lot of people who were like, yeah, they came in, but they left.
Yeah.
You know, come in, but they leave.
Temporary shit.
Temporary, because, and I think it did have to do with the fact that like I limited myself, so I wouldn't express things.
But were you finding yourself
wouldn't
at the
t-
same time?
Finding myself, no, I think I was just so set on myself. Like, this is who I am.
This is
and
the
that's
route I have to
it.
live.
Yeah, this is the route I have to live, and this is who I am, and that's it. Like, I'm not doing anything else. I'm not figuring things out. Now I am. Now I'm finding myself. I'm figuring that balance. I'm figuring out like, all right, like I could have a little bit of fun. Like, it's
Salud.
okay. Like, you know, I'll be good. Like, cause I already know what being set in stone and like, all right, this is what when I check myself, like this is what it is. So it's literally what you said, like laying off the brake a little bit, like,
That's right.
cause
So what is it now? Being a badass Chicana, what do you do to like self-love?
I'm still working on. I like to go to the gym.
Okay.
I really do. Like, I know
That's
it's
good.
like this big old thing, like people, but I really enjoy it. And I think because I've always been in sports, I've always moved my body. I always like did things like that. So for me, when I go to the gym, it's just like, like I could literally like,
release.
yes, like I could go in there and like after a good run or like, I just go like this and it's like, gra, gra, and I'm like, bitch.
How does it do it though?
Like, gra,
Orgasmic.
like, so I
Go
think
eat some
that's
spread, dog. For real.
Get it,
I
homies.
I think that's one of the biggest things for me. I'm trying new things. I don't really read, to be very honest with you. I don't read. I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read things that I know will help me.
Healthy
'Cause-
body,
Don't
healthy
feel
mind.
bad. I haven't read
Yeah.
a book in my whole life.
I started
Never?
a book.
Never. And I worked for NASA for 9 years.
Yeah, I'm like,
He asked me what it said on the thing. Right?
He told me to sound it out.
He asked me to read the back
He told me to sound it
I
out.
don't care what it has in it.
spree ads.
Spree on.
So same question.
Bro,
to
whose
you.
show is this?
This is our show now.
Damn.
Just took over.
Yeah.
They've been
No, but
wanting to
it's
rap
good
for like an
because
hour.
I think it's cool that he's asking us the questions.
Yeah, because
Like,
Exactly
we
how
all
we're
know
doing.
that.
Exactly
Oh, yeah,
how
yeah,
we're
I
doing
was just
is
kidding.
to the
Oh,
audience
my
who we're
bad.
trying to reach out to. Exactly how we're
Okay.
doing right now.
You're right.
It's okay. Whenever you want to take a break, my boy.
You're right.
Take a break.
You're right. Roll him another beer.
Shoot.
I actually gotta take a bad piss.
I think for me, I've been always all gas, no brakes. Like I've always been like go, like
Oh, yeah.
fuck it, like fuck it.
Thug life.
I risk life.
But why though?
Because I wasn't born here. I was born in
Oh,
Mexico.
that's right. We had that conversation.
Yeah, so I think I was always limited,
Mm.
and my little mind is like, fuck you, I want to
That's
do
right.
it.
Yeah.
Like fuck you, like I want to do it. Like why can't I not do it? Why can't I not go to college? There was this teacher in she was our like a college counselor, and she told me, oh, it's because you're an immigrant. Like go to a community college, and you'll be fine. And I was like, no.
oh, I know what
not.
you're talking about.
I was like, no, I want to go to a Cal State.
First off, fuck that bitch.
Like, I saw her. Full circle moment. I went back to that school to teach.
Hiron. No. Is it
What?
Hiron?
Don't be fucking saying her name.
Yeah.
Block that.
No, fuck that bitch.
Damn, chill.
Yeah.
You're
So I
putting people on Front Street.
Full circle. I went back to teach at the school, and I saw her, and I looked at her, and I'm like, look at where I'm at. Look at
What?
where I'm fucking at.
So you're
That's
teaching
right,
side by
yeah.
side with
Flex.
her?
not side by side with her, but
No,
like,
but like she was a
she
teacher.
was
You were a teacher.
I was
You guys
teaching
could
her.
have ate in the same break room.
But yeah,
Damn, you guys were
in
teachers?
school. When we weren't teachers.
That's sick.
I was
Okay,
a
this one,
facilitator.
Mike.
She was a teacher. Yeah, so
Fuck that teacher
Yeah.
she was a counselor.
or whatever
anyway.
she
Fuck
is.
that counselor.
But
Horrible
anyway,
counselor.
so she so I think when people pull me, I like when people like yank me like that, I'm like, fuck you, like get the fuck off
I think,
me.
yeah.
I'm
that's
like
sick.
that. I've
Hood
always
raised.
So, and it goes back to relatability, right? Like, cause so she's never been in that situation, ever feel what you're going through or how you're ever gonna feel, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's fucked up because a lot of our school systems, just our in general, a lot of these people that have these positions are never gonna understand how it is to go and be like, dude, I could just be taken from here because I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, in a sense, like just
fuck it.
or I'm just a motherfucking idiot that I'm gonna fuck mine off, and then because I used to get kicked out of school all the time. I used to get kicked out. My English teacher was literally kick me out of class every fucking day, and I used to just sit in there.
That's
My
funny.
best friend, I met him in the dean's office because I got kicked out of that class
So
every
many
day.
times, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like me and him. He got kicked out of his class every day. That's how I met him. So it's like that's fucked up. You know what I mean? But he's my best
So
friend.
you would walk into class and they'll kick your ass out?
Yeah, like
Just walk in,
Why
yeah.
is that funny, my boy?
You're
That's sad.
ugly. That's why.
That's sad. That's sad.
That poor teacher couldn't sleep probably
Validate
because of
me.
your ass. He's
Validate
like,
me.
nope,
Chris?
not today.
Throw wads
Not
of
the devil.
paper.
Not today. The
Hey,
devil.
Chris walking down the hallway, go out.
Yeah, you go
Trying to say
fucking
hi
shit
and she's
up.
just
They
like-
close the door and put a sign, Chris.
I was a
Go to
dick.
the
I used to
office.
spit. I used to spit on the, you know, the handles
that's
when
why.
you walk by.
Well, that's
Like, I
why.
used to spit on those. I used to get wads of wet paper. Like my homies tell you that I was
I'm
a
glad I didn't
fool.
go to your school.
Yeah, I was. A dick.
I'm glad I
I
didn't
threw
go.
a M1000 in one of the detention
Yeah.
classes one
And
time.
you're telling me I'm bad. Damn.
Oh my god.
In
That's
eighth
trauma
grade.
right there, my
Yeah.
boy.
I don't know. That shit was
Those
crazy.
are the big pops in a
Hell
class.
yeah. I
Oh,
blew up the
duct
whole
tape.
Those are the
class.
waterproof ones.
Nah, there's no.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Bro, damn.
Yeah,
That's
so-
why you're never on podcast.
Does that have a small bladder?
Yeah, so I'm telling you, it was just all gas, no brakes,
That's
like
it.
always. And I hate being pulled. And she used to pull me a lot, and she still does. And I think now I accept it. But she used to pull me because I'd be like, "Let's go! Like this is a great idea." And she'd be like, "Well, Sylvia, like we have to." And I'm like, "Oh, like stop! Like just let me go! Like I want to
balance.
go!" You
The
know, and
balance you were
she's a
talking about.
balance. And so now she teaches me that. And I was telling her like, now I crave the understanding of it fully. You know, but I think my breaking point was COVID. COVID made me stop. COVID made me
Slow
sit
down.
the fuck
Because
down.
you couldn't go anywhere.
I couldn't go nowhere. I wasn't going out.
Also,
I
you got a
wasn't-
taste of our world.
Yeah, literally, I was just
Yeah.
stuck. I was just stuck, and it literally drove me into like this mental like breakdown in my head of like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, where am I going? What do I want? Like, you know, I need to slow the fuck down because I can't do this. Like, I can't. It was mentally like a lot, and like I never understood I had anxiety up until I had to sit down and feel my fucking anxiety, like
Yeah,
You
no
gotta do
choice but
something,
to.
but you can't do
shivers
something.
with
Yeah.
shivers in my body, like
Sound
oh,
like us, big
shit.
time.
That sounds like COVID
Yeah, when
itself.
COVID hit, that's how I
I think
would laugh
I
at
think you had
people.
COVID for 2
Damn.
years.
And a lot of people
I had
are
COVID
going
for
through
9
it
years.
Yeah,
through-
especially
through
the
COVID.
youngsters. I think you're absolutely correct. I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
not only did that break you, but it broke all the youngsters.
It broke
yeah.
a lot of people, and
Yeah.
and so I was really figuring it out. I was living alone. I couldn't do it. I moved back in with my mom because it was just like I was just afraid to be in my body suddenly, like in silence,
That's
because I was
crazy.
so running. I was running, and suddenly I had to be sit and with my emotions, and so now like I really sit in my feelings now, and I really take a pause, and I'm like, oh God,
Beautiful thing now.
It is beautiful, and,
That's
and I
right.
love meditating, and I love doing yoga, and I think that's why in some way I feel for these kids that are just running and I'm just like, sit down.
They're tired inside.
Sit
like,
down, because they're
yeah.
so because I was tired and I didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
fucking know it. Like I was so tired, and so sometimes when they're about to get out, I'm like, walk, don't run, and they're like, what does that mean? And they come out running,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
and then some shit happens a month later. It's always a 30-day period when they're just running because they're just out like woo, like I'm out the fucking shit, you know.
Yeah.
And then 30 days and all this shit happens and I list it. I'm like, you see what I mean? This is running, and this is walking. So walk. Let's just
that
walk
was
together.
beautiful.
You
Just
know?
chill.
Hey.
I don't know if it was because I had to piss or because of
Damn, bro. Security.
Security.
Yeah, and
That's cool. That's pretty cool to hear that.
But that's true. It's a trip when you really realize everything. It's like you go through all this ugliness to get to this beautifulness. You know what I mean? It's just like, but why even have to go to the ugliness?
For sure.
Because it's the dark and the light. Like you can't have it. And sometimes even right now I'm going through a very dark phase right now in this moment of shit that's like tumbling, and I'm learning to surrender. And like I can't take it all on myself. And I did a meditation yesterday because it was so hard, especially with a lot of the stuff that's happening in the probation. And I'll say it off camera because that's some bullshit. But I had to surrender, and like it literally, I had to let them all go. And I'm like, I can't hold all of you because it's too much on me. Like it's hurting me.
For sure.
And I had to surrender it. And then today I feel so much lighter because I just can't do anything, you know. I have to sit here and hope and pray. And in this surrendering, in this stillness, I just have to pray and hope to God that like everything around me that's like tumbling and falling, I'm gonna know what pieces I need to pick up and rebuild, you know. And that's the moment I'm in right now. I'm just like, okay, got it. This is what I need.
Yeah,
got it. This is what I
let
need.
it happen.
I'm just letting, and that is so ugly and scary to let it tumble in front of you. You know, and watch the healing, because healing is ugly.
For sure.
Healing is so fucking ugly.
I think because we all want to know too, like what's gonna happen.
What's next?
Right?
The
Like,
unknown. It's the unknown.
everyone's scared of it, and it's a fucked up feeling. But yeah, you got this, homie. You got
Yeah,
this.
you do.
Thank you. You want to do that?
Every bad situation is temporary.
Every time, and I know it,
For
and I know
sure.
it, and I'm reminding myself, and she reminds me like it's okay, you know, you're light, and I am light, but there's just this moment of darkness, but in the darkness there's that little light, you know, and I'm just focusing right there.
That's
you
right.
know?
Cocoon right now. It'll be all right.
I think just like for me, it's always just like it is what it is. I'm trying to really like set in stone with like it is what it is. All right, let's keep pushing forward instead of just staying there. Because I for me, it's like when I stay there, oh, it's so hard. Like when I'm stuck there, and I'm like, yo, like I don't wanna be here. Like it's too much. Like I need to start moving forward. Start moving forward. So moving forward and really accepting situations for what they are, it's like, all right, like this is what it is. Accept it. What are you gonna do next?
Right.
What's gonna happen next? Because if I stay stuck there, I'm only hurting myself.
Yeah. It's
And if
one
I hurt
breath at a
myself,
time.
I can't be there for everyone else. I can't do my work. I can't do what I want to do, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. One breath
know?
at a time, one moment at a time.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah. But all right, so we're gonna do our
Before
affirmation.
we
We like
go.
to wrap it up with
I know you
affirmation.
need to pee, Chris, but you gotta
So
hold
bad.
it in.
You don't even
Yeah,
know. Like,
this is the ending. This
All
is the
right, let's get
ending.
it.
Yeah.
in your face.
All right. Actually, all right. Here we go.
Oh,
I am thankful for the special people in my life. That's the affirmation. I am thankful for the special people in my life.
For everyone that's in
And
my
because
life.
I think even through self-love and self-care, I think we all talked about there's people that have just held
Hold
us
us together. You know,
Mhm.
glue.
All right, well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. I really do.
Thank you
I am
for
glad
having
that.
us.
Well, I think this was a great conversation too. I
It really
think that,
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you guys
Appreciate
for
you.
having us.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for opening up. I hope we continue to work. I would love for all of my boys to meet y'all because
That'll be
they
cool.
For
need it.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
They need it.
Heck yeah.
I think we all need it in the sense of like us feeling.
I have a little YouTube show that came out. You guys could share with them. I think that could
Oh,
be
for sure.
pretty inspirational to a
Yeah.
youngster.
I would love
I've
it.
had a couple people reach out to me regarding their kids watching it and how it's kind of made an effect on them. So, shit, it's never hurt.
Never hurt. Well, thank you for so much. Want to shout out where they can reach you, where they can find you.
Shoot.
My IG. I'll go. We'll go down the
Nah,
line.
nah, go for it.
My IG, you can reach me at Jerry JERRY_H_ Ramirez RAMIREZ.
Beautiful. It'll be right here somewhere,
That's
right,
right.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's is Chris is back 323. Get at me.
I go by _CEEZ_UP_1 on Instagram, along with Pushing Fruits _LA without the G.
Yep.
PUSHIN
Yeah.
FRUITS _LA.
Yeah, and check out the clothing.
Hood raised.
Clothing,
Yeah,
yeah.
hood raised.
Yeah, come on.
Shout out
Really
to
good.
Johnny who
Lifestyle.
Good.
couldn't
Come on,
be here
it's a
with us.
lifestyle.
The real
Set
owner.
up?
The real owner.
Set it. That's how we're gonna do it.
Oh my bad, my bad.
That sweater, I got the sweater at the To Live and Die in LA event, the pink one, and I'll tell you, it was one of my favorite sweaters.
It
It's
was
like
one of my favorite
warm, but
ones.
it's like it's a crew neck at the same time.
Oh, that
like,
one I designed?
It's really good.
The one I designed.
like
I don't even know who you are, honestly, right now.
Even the colors, like the two colors
Oh
you guys,
yeah, those
it showed-
pastels were fire.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, oh, these are cool.
Fire,
Like,
very
That was,
nice.
that was your
Yeah.
color. That was,
Yeah,
that was your color.
That was one of my favorite colors out there, guys.
yeah,
I love
so
But yeah, check us out. We're more than just a clothing brand. We do
Throw out
we do
the-
catering. We do
Yeah.
The IG handle. For
my-
Hooders.
HRLS_clothing. Check us out. Like we actually do a lot of it's all together. The homie back there is telling me because I forget because he's the Instagram guy. But yeah, we do more than just fucking clothing. We do like, you know what I mean? Like we're really here to give back to our communities.
Yep.
And everyone here is it's just not one person, it's all of us that make this shit happen, and it's a community.
Collective.
Yeah.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, like we're here to help, you know what I mean? We're here to give back to our communities and
sure.
try to assist as any possible way we can, you know.
and you guys
Yeah.
are working on a giveaway as well, right?
Yeah,
That's what you-
for December. So we're trying to do a Christmas toy drive in December. So we're trying to get everyone from other communities to come through and help us out. We have a good ass group of people that are hitting us up and trying to get it together. We'll be there. These fools will be here hopefully. Yeah, if he's not too
We'll be there.
busy. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Come on.
But yeah,
I'm there, my boy.
Just, you know what I
Serio.
mean? Like we're always doing some dope shit. So
Yeah.
we're starting other shit too. So hopefully other people will get involved and just it's for the youth. It's for us. It's for just
the community.
yeah, just our communities. You know, we lack a lot, and hopefully we can get it out there and help as many as we can.
Yeah,
For
stay
sure.
tuned. We talk a lot about, where each of them come from, and like what their story means to the community, and how they really come from a genuine place. And I think that in our podcast, we wanted to have genuine people that have genuine hearts with genuine intentions, and we really wanted to bring people on that had that intention, and not only in this space, right? Like outside, off camera. Like I think the work that we want to do and continue to do is something greater and something bigger. So we hope to continue to execute that. So,
That's right.
So you want to let them know what you guys got here?
oh yeah. Oh, we're now sponsored by Spreads. This episode is sponsored by Spreads.
Yeah, so the homies are always here supporting us, and we support them as well. Spreads, make it the way you need to make it. You know what I mean? Everyone has their own spreads.
Collaborative effort.
Yeah. So if you guys have any ideas for spreads, tag them and make your own spread and shoot them a video, and hopefully
yep.
you get on. You know what I mean?
We're also sponsored by Hood Race today.
That's right.
You know what it is.
Next time we film, we'll also be sponsored by Spreads. Spreads by Hood Race. You guys are gonna bring us sweaters.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Some new sweaters,
I
new
appreciate
gear.
that.
Check us out.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Follow us
Check
on
this guy out.
Don't check me out. I'm taken.
He's a man.
Hey, that was your line. You got your line. You got it. You see?
See? You have to come up with a line, perro.
What goes up must come down.
Oh,
Yeah.
I threw a lot up in the air.
Yeah, thank you. Follow us
Yeah,
on
but-
H&H Podcast. Follow our producer and the people who produce this beautiful podcast.
Productive culture.
Thank you so much for being
Yes.
here. I appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Thank you guys for
Right.
giving us a platform. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Of course.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Bye.
Peace to the Middle East, baby.
Bye. Enjoy.